Well, the presidential campaigns has not started in Mexico, but certainly there are already some candidates or people aspiring to be a candidate. And, NAFTA is, in the news cycle, is always present in Mexico. So it's a reality that most people, and particularly people in the political arena, are very well aware of the existence of these negotiations. And it certainly may represent an issue of debate within the coming electoral campaigns. Now, for what have I seen and observed, most of the major candidates or people aspiring to be candidates are willing to maintain NAFTA. But certainly the rhetoric in the United States is taking a toll in the way that many Mexicans see the United States. And it is something that might influence the sense or the demeanor of some candidates when the actual campaigns start. So it's something that is possible, but we need to start to see what are the level of debate and how important is NAFTA in this debate in the general picture for Mexico. Well, let me put in perspective because, as I was mentioning, when we talk about that NAFTA includes 480 million people. Well, this is a lot of people, but I don't have any relation with somebody in Canada, maybe, or with somebody in South Dakota. But let's talk, for instance, about KC Metro. There are 58,000 jobs that are directly or indirectly related to the export activity of Kansas City Metro. And many of those jobs, this area exports to several parts of the world, but certainly many of those exports are also bound to Mexico. So what will happen if you cut ties with Mexico in terms of trade? Maybe those jobs will be affected. Maybe that production will have to seek different markets because Mexico will also seek different markets to get those products that are necessary. So when you start seeing locally, you see that everybody has a lot of things to lose. If, of course, we will readjust. People's countries won't go to bankruptcy, but you need to make adjustments to keep your economy and to serve your population. And certainly in that situation, many people will lose, including people in the KC metro area. Well, as you heard during the conference, if the United States decides to withdraw NAFTA, he will have the government of the United States will have to serve a 6-month notice in advance. But the trade agreement will remain between Canada and Mexico. Now, if the United States decides to withdraw, it will be very difficult for any U.S. government, for any sitting president, to convince the Congress and the people to renegotiate again with Mexico, because they will ask, what would you withdraw from NAFTA in the first place? And in the case for Mexico, it will be very difficult to convince Mexican people, the public opinion, business leaders, to sit to negotiate again with the very same country that decided to cut ties with you in terms of trade and in a 23 years relationship. So it's apparently it doesn't make any sense. Mexico has an unwavering willingness to keep. Mexico won't be the country that will stand and walk away from the negotiating table. So that's all what I can say.